Alright, so we're back in Mornington at Series Engineering to get our BA Falcon touched up after the bottom end swap. As you guys saw in the last video, number 6 rod was pretty bent. So to avoid a repeat and just get the car running better all round, I've come down to steel to touch up the car and work his magic on it. I think he wanted to basically start with a fresh slate, so not use much of the previous tune. We'll just have to see how we go during the day. Hopefully this thing doesn't really give us any grief. It is breaking up a little bit under load at the moment, and I have already changed the coils and the spark plugs. Granted, not for new ones, just spares that I had laying around. So I'm hoping that once we're on the dyno, it fixes itself. Fingers crossed that today goes quite smoothly, because I would like a win here. That would be nice. Look happy.
Yeah, look, for me personally, it's a little bit rowdy for a gas tune. Probably be a little bit nicer to it down low with the extra compression. Oh, look, even if I was playing it safe on a petrol engine, I'd probably be, you know, slightly less timing coming on than what this has with extra compression. We want to keep the cylinder head on, and we want to keep the rod straight.
So what do you see as like the limits of a gas bottom end, boost wise and power wise, roughly?
We've seen 26, 27 pounds of boost with a decent turbo on it. You know, obviously being pretty kind to it in the mid-range, and we've seen it make over 600 kilowatts and live for probably a couple of years, but
that's pretty respectable.
But having a small frame on there and sending the fuck out of it generally kills it, because it's that responsive, that much cylinder pressure low down, and if you're not careful in the mid-range, you know, you can hurt an engine.
Not enough RPM to spread the load.
You like spreading load?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Spread them. We're going to be limited by the clutch today, probably, eh?
Yeah, that. Oh, if the clutch holds on, then injectors.
Then injectors, yeah, because it's got 1150s in it at the moment.
Yeah, which most of the time they make around 500 and a little bit before you're at sort of 98% duty cycle.
Yeah.
And we don't really want to run them that hard because it leaves no room for error. Go out on a cold night, see a couple more pounds, and another way to end a motor.
So 1150 is going to cap it at like what, 450?
500.
Yes.
We'll see. Started out with the original fuel settings that were in it. Now, I got you to set the base fuel pressure up at 58 psi, which is roundabouts where they are standard. And the initial runs were showing 0.88 lambda, which is probably a little bit on the lean side. So I've adjusted some fueling, brought it back down to the 0.80 zone, which is probably a little bit safer than where it was. Judging by where we got to in the end, even with that minimal boost, 16 pounds, already at 84% duty cycle with not much timing in it. So we'll get a bit more timing in it, throw some boost at it. Probably going to wind up around the 93 mark. We should end up around 460 kilowatt, I'd imagine.
definitely spinning, mate, for second gear, but like long gearing and a 275 tyre. Do you miss your BA?
No.
Oh. Alright, so it's quite dark in here and I probably look like a crackhead, but I've just gotten home from work and I feel like I need to talk about the car a little bit. I've been daily driving the car for the last 4 days now. That's just to get a proper feel of it, you know. If you drive a car every single day, you know all the funny little things it does. Pretty pleased to say that this car is driving way better than I thought it would. It doesn't have a heater or aircon at the moment, so I do need to work on that. In Australia, having no aircon in summer is a bit brutal, but you know, we manage. Sunroof on tilt 24/7. I do want to give a massive shout out again to Steel and the boys at Series Engineering. I'm not sponsored by Series at all, you know, I'm still paying for everything, but man, I would not take my Falcon or Barra powered project anywhere else, you know. Aside from just like the good vibes at the shop, you talk to Steel for 5 minutes and you kind of just get the idea that you're in safe hands. The dude knows what he's doing. He knows where to look and he knows just off the top of his head what value should be what. The years of R&D that Steel and the boys have put into refining the Falcon tunes definitely haven't gone to waste, because this car is driving perfect. I can't really fault it. Even like the cold start on E85 every morning, not a problem. You know, it cranks like normal. You wouldn't know. So thank you again, Mr. Steele and the boys at Series, Baz and Trent. I was going to do a thing. I might still do a thing. I thought I'd go over a few of your guys' comments from the last video while we're here, because this video is pretty short, but also it'd be cool to just like reply to them, I feel. So Mayo912 says, love to see any sort of work done to the VZ clubbies or any work on cars you work on in general. The Commodores look quick. There are some speedy boy Commodores at the shop, the yellow clubbies specifically. There's only one, no, there's two yellow clubbies. One of them is kind of a rolling shell at the moment, and the other one belongs to our friend Maddie, who maybe he watches these videos. Shout out to you, Maddie, if you're watching. It would be cool to film something on that car, so I'll have to see if Maddie's down, but maybe we'll get something posted on that one day. The other one is Ben's drift car, which I should film because that car's cool, and I did full turbo kit on that car, so might do that. What else we got? Love the Falk Barra vids, keep them coming, man. I shall try. Maybe turn it into a budget grip racing build. The biggest downfall for Falcons, as far as I'm aware, is just the weight and how hard it is to pull weight out of these things. I think Motive did a video where they chopped basically every panel off the car, full interior strip. I think they managed to get like 300 or 400 kilos out of it, but it's still a heavy chassis. That's the problem with them. So I think I'd rather start with something a bit lighter, like the FC. That seems a bit more practical. Oh, fuck. Everything's yelling at me. The abrupt ending, always. Yeah,